Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Ragujan, and I'm going to explain about ELs. So, ELs are uh, the short term of expression language. So, you may ask why we need to use ELs. So, the basic, uh, the short answer is it is simple. So, let's say there is a web designer who don't know much about Java, so he wants to work on the front end side of the web application. So in that case, therefore, the designer don't know that much about the that much of Java. Not the designer don't have Java knowledge. So in that case, there has to be something else has to be done. So in that case, that's where the ES come. So ES are very easy to understand and very easier to um, learn. So the other non-Java programmers can work on the applications. So that's why the ES are famous. That's why the ES are full. And here they are. These are basically Java being components and other implicit objects. So we can use it, and using ES we can do arithmetic operations as well. And this is a syntax. So this is the syntax. So and even when we talk about ELs, there are two types. uh, there are two types of ELs, and one is immediate evaluation, and the another one is deferred evaluation expression. We here gonna talk about in this section we'll talk about evaluation expressions, not the deferred. The deferred is looks like this. Deferred syntax is this, and the evaluation syntax is this one. And what evaluation syntax? The definition is the expression will be evaluated, and the return will be written when the completion of the page rendering. So when the page is rendered, the result also will be returned. So that's what the meaning. So that's why it's the name is immediate evaluation. So yeah, and here we can configure some of the we can configure ELs using the deployment descriptor, the web.xml file. Yeah, and here what I did was I disabled the scripting. So you cannot write scriptlets or um, expressions or whatever declarations. If you try to do that, you will get an error. You'll get a internal error of 500, something like this. You can see the message here. It says there is a declaration, an expression, and there's a scriptlet. So these are not allowed here. So that's the issue error you will get when the scripting is set to true. And yeah, that's one point. And here we have the another configuration. We have to use EL ignored. So using EL ignored, setting the value true, the EL whatever the EL you write will be ignored. So here that's what I did. So here this is the syntax, and inside I try to print hello. In this case, it won't be printed. It will just print out the whole section, the EL, the expression, and the text as a plain old HTML static text. So that's why that's the use case of using EL ignore. And yeah, and so using EL ignores, sorry, using ELs, you can set values to JSP properties. There are many other use cases, but I wanted to mention this one specifically. Using the set property, there is a name. You can set the name box, and the property is perimeter, and to that you can set the value using the EL expression. You can see it is very dynamic. There is no beside the width and the height of that specific box class. You just have to mention these arithmetic operations like I said earlier. And here we have the basic common EL operations, the dot. So using the dot, you can access a bean property or a map entry. And here we using the box brackets, you can access an array or a list element. And here this one, you can group a sub expression to change the evaluation order. And these are the basic ones, the arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication. And we have here the division. So to division, you can have you have two options. One is the same or the slash one, and here you can use the word div. And for modulo, you can use the mod, or you can use the um, percentage sign. And to test equality, you can use the double equal, or you can use the word eq, the word eq. And here to test the inequality, you can use this one, or you can use in ne, which is says not equal, short form, or you can assume ne. And here we have the greater than, or you can use we have the less than sign. To that, you can either use this sign, or you can either use the lt. For greater than, to test the greater than values, you can use this operator, the greater than sign, or you can use the gt. Same goes to just like this. Here we have test for less than or equal, so less than equal, and the or you can use le, or to the greater than or equal, you can use this one, or either or this one, ge. So yeah, that's how it goes. Let's get into some practicals. So this is my practical 2.jsp. This is the application, and what I did was, let me show you. Create a map. I created a map and put some values, the key values, keys and values, and created another. And I created but then what I did was, I set it to the page scope. I set it as an attribute. So the map attribute, the attribute name is map, and this will contain the map. However, you can see I didn't set it to the page context. I set it to the application scope. So after making a request, you will be able to get the map in other JSPs or JSPs as well. And here I created a list, set some values, added some values, and added some elements to that list. And I set that list to the attribute, set that list to the application scope. And here I set an attribute called this attribute name is null value, which has the value is null. And I have set an attribute called empty value. The value is not, which is just an empty string. And here I try using ES, I try to get the name. So the value for the name, so it should give us RagJN. So that's what we have got here, RagJN, right? And the next one, it is we try to get the list, zeroth element of the list. So you can see this is how we use, right? So here the box bracket to access an array or list element. So that's what I did. So I got 33333, which I was set as the zeroth element, and I tried to dot get, and also it printed out the zeroth element. And I'm checking here whether the empty value is null. So the empty value is not null, it is an empty value. So the empty value, is it equal to null? If it's null, print out null. If it's not, print out not null. So it's not null, right? And here I tried to get the null value. So for the null value, is it null or not? So it should say the null value is null, right? So it should say null. That's right. And we have, and after that, I set a value to null value, so not an empty value. And the empty value to the empty value, I set the string, not a null value. So it should give us, if we try to do the same this time, the null value is it null? No, so it will say not null. Yeah, it'll say empty or not so empty. So in this case it's not so empty, so we'll print out not so empty. And null value is it null? No, not null. Yeah, and yeah, and here I tried to get the header values, so I tried to print it out using the for each. So it printed out the header values. Yeah, so that's how it goes. So let me show you. Let me see other what else we have. Yeah, and here what I did was, this is a user bean created from this is from the user class, the name, email, city, and I implemented and I instantiated an object of that class. Let me see. No, I didn't instantiate. Yeah, so using set property, I set a value for that for that user object, and the property is name. So the name will have the value as right. So you can see the name, and if I try to get the name using the EA, it should print out rag. So let me see. Let's go to practical one. Yeah, it printed out rag, and yeah, yeah. So this is the same. Yeah, so that's how it goes. That's pretty much for the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.